1st of June. I believe it's June already.
Yeah.
First thing we have on our agenda is a COVID update. Melissa.
Sure. So I'll be somewhat brief, but on the positive side right now, so I know I give you guys weekly updates on our COVID numbers. And in the last week or so, we've had about only 3 new cases. So we're actually only monitoring 3 cases at this time, which is actually the lowest we've had since probably the start of COVID. As you know, it feels very strange to go out in public right now because some people are wearing masks, some people are not. So it seems strange, but we're progressing forward, which is a really good thing. We definitely still firmly believe in best practices, hand washing, sanitizing, staying home when sick. And I think these are all things that can, continue, to stay in place and to help people remain healthy. So town hall is open to the public. We are following CDC and DPH guidelines, so masks are not required. Obviously, we are adhering to the advisory and, hoping that those that are unvaccinated follow the advisory. But other than that, things are moving forward. We actually are running COVID clinics, thanks to our public health nurse, Trish Fisher. This week, we have Thursday, we're doing the high school clinic, and then Friday, we're doing both the middle school, so Bird and Johnson Middle School. So we'll be doing 3 clinics in total on Friday and then 1 clinic on Thursday. So we've gotten a good amount of individuals signed up, so it's definitely nice to start back the clinics again. We are using a lot of MRC volunteers who are very familiar with the vaccine clinic setup because they did help out with our clinics that we held back in February and March. So positive things, and we'll just keep progressing forward and pivoting as needed.
Can you remind us of the times for the clinics, Melissa, for both high school
Sure.
and...
So if you are interested, definitely shoot us an email because it is during the school hours. So we just need to make sure that the schools are aware of your being on site, and we would provide them with your name, obviously. So Thursday, which is the 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 1, that's up at the high school. And then on Friday, we have clinics from 11 to 12:30 at Bird Middle School, and then 1:30 to 4 p.m. at Johnson Middle School.
So I'll definitely be there on Thursday. Are you there earlier, like than 10, 9 o'clock maybe, to start setting up?
So actually, there's not a whole lot of setup. So on Thursday, we'll probably, I would say if you want to get there around 9:15, that would probably be great. 9:15, even 9:30, because it's not going to be much of a setup. But that would be great. And then on the back end, on Friday the 25th, we'll be holding an all-day clinic from 9 to 4, and that will capture all those second vaccines for those that are receiving their first this week.
Okay.
That is great. Thank you guys so much for that.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from May 18. If there were any edits or comments people had?
I had one comment. The second page, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on the 5th line, right? It says, when it says, in addition, the applicant would be required to submit individual septic plans, and then the sentence before, the phrase before, it says, in addition, the applicant must address, so it's like 2 sentences saying in addition. So can we say, like, in addition, the applicant must address trash and recycling pickup, as well as they'll be required to submit individuals, so that we don't have repetition.
Definitely, I'll make that change.
I know I'll be there, but
Any other comments from anybody?
None for me.
look good to me.
Everybody who was in the meeting is here, so we have proper folks. I will make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes on May 18th with the edit noted. I'll pool the board. Carol?
Aye.
Mona?
I wasn't there, so is that okay?
Nope, sorry. Yeah, we'll you abstain on that one, right? Stefan, you were here.
Aye.
And I do, I also. So that's 3-0 and then 1 for abstain, right?
And then who seconded that? I apologize.
Oh, do we need a second? Who wanted to second that?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Sorry, a little out of order.
That's all right.
All right. Next on our agenda is a 7:40. Do we have anybody here for the animal permit? Don't believe there's anybody else on the line. So we can take a look at it. I imagine the animal inspector from Norwood also was able to see the site.
So he is actually going out tomorrow to see the site. So if the approval is granted tonight, obviously it'd be pending his inspection, and he will circle back with me after his inspection tomorrow. She is looking to compost the manure on site. He has no problem with that and said that is, probably one of the better practices when dealing with that. So he has no concerns with her written application. However, he will do an on-site inspection tomorrow.
I thought the design of the chicken coop I liked it, very attractive. And very useful if I were a chicken.
So Melissa, is this a new permit? Because it says status active.
This is a new permit, correct?
Oh, it is a new permit. Okay.
As it says, are you renewing your animal permit? And they responded no.
Yeah, because I see status active, so I wasn't sure if they already had a permit.
No, I think it just means because she submitted an application, so the application itself is active in Viewpoint.
Okay, I'll make a motion in regards to the animal permit 11 Deborah Drive. The Board of Health grants the permit under the condition that they pass the inspection dated tomorrow.
Correct.
And 2021.
Great. Motion's been made. Do we hear a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. We will go for a vote. Carol?
Aye.
Mona?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
And I also. 4-0-0. Another happy customer in the poultry world. Just be careful. We have a hawk in our backyard that's been checking out our new friend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. 7:45. ComCon request for determination of 324 East Street.
So they're just looking to do determination of where the wetlands are. So the plan would be to demo the 2-family and construct a new one. If CONCOM decides that it is applicable, we'll see a notice of intent about this property. And I'm assuming based on where it's located within the wetlands, we'll see it again as a notice of intent. So I would say generally as of right now, there's no concerns in them delineating the wetlands, and then we can make further comments once we see it again as a notice of intent.
I have a question. Are they going to demolish a 2-family and build another 2-family, or is it a 1?
I believe it's going to be a 1-family.
1-family.
So how far is it from the wetland yet, or we don't know that?
So it is the proposed house. Part of it in the garage would be within the 100-foot buffer, but we'll see the plan in more detail as a notice of intent. CONCOM will determine whether enough work is going to be done within the wetlands that a notice of intent will need to be submitted, and then we would receive that to then bring it back in front of the board for your usual comments regarding the wetlands.
So it'll be interesting to see if it's the same footprint as the house they're demolishing. If it's only a tiny bit, which would be very interesting too. But I don't know. That's sort of the reverse that we usually see. Usually go from a 1-family to a multi, but not this time.
Maybe they want to make it bigger. Maybe they want to build a bigger house.
Imagine they'll get as close to the water as they can.
Yeah.
All right. With Enrique say about the next steps, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion regarding the request for determination at 324 East Street, the Board of Health has no concerns at this time.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any other comments? We'll vote. Carol?
Aye.
Mona?
Aye.
Stefan?
Aye.
I vote aye also, 4-0-0. Go. Last on our agenda, 7:50, a little ahead of schedule, is the 41 Edgewood Ave Board of Appeals special permit.
So they're looking to construct an addition onto their current home to add an accessory in-law suite. And the property is located on town water and town sewer, so there is no septic. And I don't know if you saw the plans, but you can see the addition like on the back side of the existing dwelling.
No wetlands issues, no other issues that we're concerned about, I can see.
Not that it's showing. But if they did construct in the wetlands, we will be seeing this from Concom as a notice of intent.
I know that area is wetlands over there.
These plans did not show it, and if we don't see it from we would see it from Concom if it were in the wetlands.
That's what I thought.
All right.
Are we ready for a motion?
We are ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion regarding the special permit at 41 Edgewood Avenue. The Board of Health has no concerns.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other comments, discussions? Now we will vote. Carol?
Aye.
Mona?
Aye.
Stefan?
Aye.
I also, 4-0-0. Right. That is all we had on our current agenda, the correspondence, which was great to see. Want to talk about that? Anyone want to give a little update? That would be wonderful.
Rachel, do you mind to just maybe give like a quick overview, not to put you on the spot, but I know you put a lot of work into this.
Sure. So it was about an 18-month project that I worked on with a bunch of other educators, different disciplines from different towns. I was one of the only school nurses on it, but there were health teachers, gym teachers, principals. There was a nurse leader, a bunch of superintendents. So we all reviewed a ton of curriculums out there about vaping or anti-vaping, I should say, and kind of picked out all of the ones that seemed to fit most and put a review of all of them, and then the links to get all of the material if towns wanted to incorporate the curriculum into their curriculum. And we've already implemented it in Walpole. Next year we'll be using it at the high school for sure, and we'll hopefully be getting it into the middle school. And then they also included in there the cessation program that we had put together at the high school that I was teaching. Instead of discipline, instead of suspension, the kids could opt to take a cessation class when they were caught vaping in school. And we had quite a bit of success with it. COVID kind of course, put a monkey wrench in everything. But I was still able to complete the few students that were in the program via Zoom last year. And we're hoping to get that going again in the fall of next year, but no one else had done it. So I kind of told everyone how it was going for Walpole and then wrote a little something up. So that's in there too. And it was great. It was great. It was really nice to work with all these different disciplines in different towns, and all of the curriculums were really quite interesting. And now we've got a pretty good resource, everything all in one spot. So I hope that people are able to use it.
That's excellent. I was very impressed with the Bachman life skills training for the elementary school. I feel this is very important, like to build like the kids' self-esteem, which is, you know, they should really have to have a high level of confidence so that they know that they don't need to use substance to look good or to just please their, you know, friends. So thank you very much for your efforts. That's great.
No problem. Yeah, it really was quite enjoyable, believe it or not. It was a lot of work, but it was really good. Of course, again, COVID, we had to continue our meetings via Zoom, but thankfully we had got a bulk of the review of the materials done before that, so it was really just kind of pulling it all together. So it was a lot easier to do that via Zoom as opposed to all of the research. So, but yeah.
And this is granted, the grant is again from, who's granting, who's funding this?
So the initial grant was from the nurses. It was a nursing grant. And the woman that put it in place, we had got the grant from, I believe it was the National Association of School Nurses. And she put it in place and recruited the superintendent from Norton, who was just an awesome guy. What a good guy. And they worked together. So they got I think it's called the Association of Superintendents. It's all the superintendents, whatever their title is. They all meet once a month. And so she had got them on board. So it was kind of under their direction, and then this nursing piece. So it was really interesting. And I appreciated the opportunity to work on it. Bridget had asked if I would go. Nancy Gallivan was doing it, was the representative from Walpole, and there were another couple of nurses from different towns, but they had dropped out, so they were looking for a nurse. So Nancy reached out to Bridget, and then Bridget asked if I would be interested, because she knew I was doing some stuff with vaping already. So I really appreciated the opportunity. It was really great.
Is this an ongoing process? Like, is it going to be for how many years is the grant good for? Is that going to be?
Grant's done. It was for 2 years. So the curriculum is all written, but they are going to look into maybe smaller grants, or just to kind of keep it up to date. And I don't know, maybe so this is really anti-vaping, where, so prevention, that was anti-vaping and prevention and education, whereas the program that I was doing was cessation. So they were looking at maybe getting something together for a cessation kind of curriculum. Unfortunately, there's not a ton out there on cessation just for vapes. There's a lot out there for nicotine, but it's just such a different animal than cigarettes, or even any of the other forms of nicotine. Vaping really is in a category of its own. So hopefully there's some opportunities in the future to do something like this again.
Very good.
At the farmers market, we have a vendor coming from Teen Connection. He's out of Brockton, and they're dealing with teens and marijuana. So and I wonder if he'd be interested in just even looking at your curriculum or making connections with you, because he sounds. I'm excited about him coming, because he's coming every week. That's 20 weeks, and that's awesome. A big commitment on his part. So I hope that it's. We have a number of nonprofits, and they're there for information purposes.
That's great.
I hope that.
When's he going to be there, Karen?
With the farmers market, which starts every Saturday starting June 12th, goes through the October.
I'll bring him down a copy and introduce myself and give him a copy of it.
Oh, that would be wonderful, wonderful. Better you than me. So, I mean, I could do it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, no,
good,
great.
Thanks. Great.
That's great. Appreciate that, guys. Great. I know we had also, there was on the minutes, we were talking about the potential for in-person meeting, Melissa?
Correct. So as you know, the governor did extend Originally, it was potentially June 15th, they would have turned off the in-person meeting allowance, but it actually is going until September 1st now. That being said, last week, the select board voted to meet in person starting June 15th. I think a lot of boards will begin to do this. I know they're working on using the new finance committee meeting because people can be spaced out very nicely, as well as the main meeting room. So if we were to meet, we would probably meet in the main meeting room, but obviously something for the board to discuss.
Does anybody have any thoughts in either direction or supporting?
I rather like these Zoom meetings. It's I work a long day, and it's really pleasant to be able to spend some time not having to leave the house again. That's my input.
I'm good either way.
Me too. I mean, it's the Zoom meeting is good also in case one of us is not in Massachusetts or is away and we can't attend in person. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we should do a mix of both, whoever would like to be there in person.
So the open meeting law, without the open meeting law, you are still actually allowed, as long as you have a quorum in the room, you are allowed to have a member remotely log in. With this approach, potentially you could do a hybrid, but sometimes doing that, it makes it a little more difficult. And obviously, depending if we go that route, it would be dependent on where we're going to be meeting, because obviously they need to have the technology to accommodate that. So it's up to you. Like I said, the select board, they're actually meeting the same week that we are. They're going to meet on the 15th. So, I mean, we could try to meet on the 15th and then go from there. Or if you want to hold off another week, I mean, eventually there may be a time where we will have to meet in person. So just a few thoughts.
I think if I was to vote, I'd say the summertime. I know we're talking about cutting back to the summer schedule anyways. There's going to be some travel. I know we got pretty busy, so if we were to say something, maybe we would do the summer schedule for at least the first few remote, and then see how we can possibly fold in getting back together and actually seeing each other again in live.
That sounds good to me.
Works for me.
Works for me either way.
And I'll let you know if anything changes and it's a requirement that we meet in person. But right now, so you guys are more leaning towards meeting remotely on June 15th. And then at that date, we'll decide our summer schedule, which you're looking to continue to do remote. So, okay. And like I said, if something comes up and it's a requirement, then I definitely will pass that information along to you all.
Thank you.
And I'll have my schedule for the summertime because not all the Tuesdays I'm going to be off. So hopefully we'll pick a Tuesday that I'm off if we're going to only be meeting once a month. And then
Correct.
So it's just going to be for the month of July, August?
July and August, we typically drop one of our meetings. So we normally meet either the first or third Tuesday of the month, but normally the board would decide which Tuesday they prefer to meet in July and August.
Sounds good.
But we could do that at our next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, was there anything else that we want to discuss or bring up today?
No, I think that's all.
So do you still need me to email you, Melissa, for the COVID clinic on Thursday?
No, I'll put you down, Mona, for being there on Thursday.
All right, and I'll be there as early as possible. Actually, and then to be honest with you, are we good on supplies? Like
We are.
We are. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, though.
Okay, because I was like trying to reach out to my district leader and just have them like see if CVS would like to contribute like in any of the supplies since we have.
No, it seems like lately, I think kind of the tail end, we've been actually getting a decent amount of supplies that we'll have. So, but thank you, though.
Excellent. And also, like, yeah, you said with that we're going to be administering the Pfizer vaccine, right?
Correct.
So they just released new. You know how is Trish on the meeting?
Yes.
Hi, Trish. So they're gonna. you know how like the Pfizer vaccine, we used to be able to keep it in the fridge for 5 days. So now the new regulations from Pfizer, we can keep them in the fridge thawed for 30 days.
I know, that's great information.
And at
We
room
just
temp-
had our delivery today, and there's a note in there
Yeah.
reflecting that 30 days. It's fantastic. Yes. It takes off a lot of pressure.
Yes, absolutely. And even like at, you know, some pharmacists, I don't do that. I usually refill 6 syringes and keep them in the fridge like per vial. But some pharmacists are just mixing, they're diluting the vaccination and then just leaving it at room temperature, and it's good for 6 hours. So, you know, it's much easier for us. We don't have to worry about refrigeration.
It is much easier not having that strict time frame. It's a little,
Exactly.
It gets a little tricky. So this definitely gives a little more cushion, which is very nice, doing the kids and traveling to the schools.
Exactly.
Make it easier. That's great.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if there was anything else, we can poll the members to close the meeting. Carol?
I close it.
Ona?
Aye.
Stefan?
Aye.
And I also. 400 to close the meeting. Thank you all very much. Good seeing you.
Thank
Bye.
you as well. Take care.
Thank you.